Chaos erupts as Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns engage in a brutal brawl before title match. Somebody check on Roman Reigns' blood pressure, because Seth Rollins just proved that words can hurt worse than a steel chair, and then he used the chair anyway. That is right, folks, the final face-to-face between these two Shield brothers turned enemies went from a verbal chess match to an all-out war in a matter of minutes, and by the time the show went off the air, one man was left standing tall over the other with SummerSlam just days away. Before we break down every insult, every punch, and every chair shot, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell, because Wrestling Rush News is not letting this rivalry slip past you. Let's talk about why this confrontation hit different, because Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are not just two random guys with a beef. These two came up together in the Shield alongside Dean Ambrose, building one of the most iconic factions in modern WWE history before Rollins turned his back on the group and aligned with the Authority. Ever since that betrayal, the two have been trading shots at each other's careers for over a decade, and Rollins has actually held the edge in their personal history, having played a key role in helping Cody Rhodes dethrone Reigns and end his record-setting reign as Tribal Chief. Think of these two like former business partners who split on bad terms, except instead of suing each other, they settle things with Superman punches and chair shots. Now fast forward to this week's contract signing turned face-off, which was supposed to be the calm before the storm, one final handshake moment before SummerSlam. Instead, Rollins made his entrance before Reigns could even get a single word out, immediately setting the tone for a segment that had zero interest in staying civil. Rollins went right for the jugular, telling Reigns that he is better than him at basically everything except professional wrestling itself, which is quite the backhanded compliment, kind of like telling a chef they make a great sandwich but cannot actually cook. Reigns fired back by calling Rollins out directly, and Rollins, rather than getting defensive, simply agreed with the insult before doubling down, promising to make Reigns' family cry at SummerSlam, referencing the emotional aftermath of his championship cash-in years earlier. That is when things stopped being a verbal sparring match and turned into an actual fight. Reigns snapped, throwing the first punch and stomping away at Rollins before nailing him with a picture-perfect Superman punch. For a moment, it looked like the champion was fully in control, physically dominating his rival the same way he has dominated most of his career. But here is where the story takes its sharpest turn, because instead of simply walking away with the moral victory, Reigns made the fatal mistake of bringing a steel chair into the ring, looking to smash Rollins across the back in a direct callback to the exact same move Rollins used years earlier to help tear the Shield apart in the first place. Think of it like a boxer who has already won the round on points, but decides to throw one extra reckless punch just to make a point, and ends up walking directly into a counter. That is precisely what happened here. As Reigns entered the ring with the chair, Rollins recovered just in time and blasted him with a stomp directly onto that very chair, turning Reigns' own weapon against him and leaving the World Heavyweight Champion laid out as Rollins stood tall to close the show. It was a gut punch of a visual, the kind that makes you replay the segment just to watch Reigns' own aggression backfire in real time. Here's the real insight buried inside all that chaos, though. This confrontation revealed something deeper than just two rivals trading insults. It exposed Reigns' greatest weakness heading into SummerSlam. His obsession with finally beating Rollins in a one-on-one match, something he has never actually accomplished across their entire history together, is the exact button Rollins knows how to push every single time. Rollins did not simply survive Reigns' assault, he benefited from Reigns abandoning a winning position simply because the fight became personal. That is a dangerous crack to reveal right before stepping into the ring for the biggest title defense of the summer. And in case you needed a reminder of just how loaded this Raw Go Home show truly was, this was not even the only story that ended with somebody standing tall while somebody else got left in the dust. Brock Lesnar locked Oba Femi inside the Hell in a Cell structure ahead of their own blow-off match, Raquel Rodriguez captured the Women's Intercontinental Championship in a wild title change, and the Vision continued tightening its grip on Alpha Academy. But it was Rollins who left Los Angeles with arguably the most meaningful advantage of the night, sending Reigns into SummerSlam not just facing a rival, but facing the pressure of his own obsession. So when these two finally step into the ring for the World Heavyweight Championship this weekend, remember this moment, because Rollins did not just get the last laugh, he planted a seed of doubt that Reigns will be carrying into the biggest match of his year. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.